What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Real Junkies. I am your host, Farhan, here again with my man, Vito. And ladies and gentlemen, do we have a motion picture to discuss today? You know, in the words of Bobby Caldwell, there are times as a film fan where you walk out of a theater or out of an experience being reminded why you loved movies in the first place, being reminded why you decided to make watching movies your hobby or your pastime. And I've experienced that.
Caldwell said that?
Well, there are times part. The rest of it, I may ad lib. You know what I'm saying? The rest of it, I ad lib. But there are times part. That's all Bobby. I may have just took it and added a little to it. You feel me? So there are times where you get that feeling back of this is why I love movies so much. And there are a handful of times in the last year or so where I've had that feeling. I had that feeling coming out of One Battle After Another, had that feeling coming out of Weapons, had that feeling coming out of Sinners, and I have had that feeling now again coming out of the Odyssey. Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. First of all, let me put some respect on it. And I have to say that is better than the previous three movies I just named. I will say that right now. But to answer your question of how I watched it, I watched it in Super IMAX at Imagine. It's like their IMAX screen. And it was one of the most immersive film experiences I have had in a long time. I'm tempted to say ever, but it's too many movies I've been to the theater to watch and have seen in IMAX for me to just say that comfortably. But it is definitely one that is going to resonate with me for a while, and that I could say tops a lot of the other experiences I've had. And I don't know if I've said this on the channel before, but I've routinely said before that I thought Dune 2 was the best film of the 2020s, and I didn't think it was close.
Of all the 2020s?
Yes.
Starting from 2020?
Starting from 2020 on. Dune 2 was the best movie of the 2020s, and I thought that was a heavyweight champ, and I didn't think there was any other competition.
Because I'm pretty sure Madam Web came out in like 2021, so...
Bro, shut the fuck up. I'm not playing with you today.
So I do want to say...
I can't say that now. I'm just saying I can't say that now because of this film, right? I can no longer say that statement, but go ahead.
I do want to say, I watched it in IMAX at AMC Theater. I didn't know that there was a difference between the IMAX and 70 millimeter.
Oh, yes, there is. And there's only one 70 millimeter screen in Michigan, unfortunately, and it's nowhere near us.
It's in Grand Rapids. So this is the thing. I think AMC has converted some of theirs to 70 millimeter for this. I'm looking at the thing right now, and because I did not see this when I went to go see the movie. I did not see 70 millimeter as an option on the screens. AMC,
put me hip to something.
AMC Forum 30, which is in Sterling Heights, has a 70 millimeter showing. It's at 9:30. Again, this was not an option yesterday when I went to go watch this movie.
It's available today
at 9:30.
We might have to end this recording early, sir.
I seen it. Hold on, there's one more, and it's one on AMC Livonia 20 at 7 p.m.
That's the one. That's. I mean, but
they're starting right now.
Yeah, I'm about to say, like, if the Livonia one has it, you may just see me disappear in the middle of this episode, and you just won't see me for the remainder. I hope you're able to carry it for the rest of the time.
So I was looking yesterday, because that's when I went to go see the movie. First of all, I haven't seen a theater this packed in a while. I'm talking before COVID numbers, bro. Like, this theater was packed. Every single theater I picked, I'm looking, packed. There were only 2 IMAX showings at the AMC earlier, or at AMC and IMC MJR. MJR only had 2 showings. They had one at 6:40, and then they had one at 10:30. You're not leaving out of that movie to fucking 2:30, almost 2 a.m. I didn't know that what the e-screen was for Imagine, so I'm like, I know they have something like IMAX, I just wasn't sure, so I was like, fuck it, I'll go try something else. But I am going to go try the 70 millimeter. I will say for this movie, I don't have any bad things to say. Let me start with that. I don't have anything bad to say about this movie at all. I wasn't even though things were happening, I don't think I was as drawn into the storytelling as I would have liked. And there's a lot going on in this movie. I think, and we see this all the time where they tell 2 different stories at the same time, which is cool. And I think in this movie they did a good job of focusing on Odysseus and what's his son name? Telemetry.
Telemachus, yeah. I know the names in this. I ain't gonna lie. If I hadn't read the book in high school, the names in this movie would have whooped my ass. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Did not read this book in high school at all.
Well, I didn't read it voluntarily, but
I don't think we did any Greek mythology.
Okay.
But I do think the way that he tells the story is amazing. Christopher Nolan. The way that he shoots his scenes is amazing. I don't know. Maybe it's because I was so uneasy in the theater that I wasn't just in awe. Like the story was good. It was a few lulls in there, but when I say lull, I don't mean like I was bored. I just mean there wasn't any action. But this because of the storytelling, there's no lulls in it at all. So I guess I used the wrong word. He does a good job of telling the story of Odysseus and Telemachus.
Yep, there you go.
I'm gonna have to pull my phone back up. I was about to say we should have just recorded this like 2 weeks from now so we can really watch it in that 70 millimeter.
I'm watching this again for sure.
The one in because so this is why I didn't know that I was confused about the 70 millimeter and IMAX, because when I looked it up, it was like 70 millimeter is IMAX. I'm like, oh, okay. And then it's like, no, 70 millimeter is they show it off of the film.
Yep.
And IMAX is digital.
It's a totally different experience.
Right.
It's a totally different experience.
And when I was looking, they didn't have any 70 millimeters up there. So I'm like, okay, well, I just don't in our area, obviously. Then I looked it up. Grand Rapids has one. That's the only one that has one in Michigan. Yes. And then the other one is in Indianapolis. They're both 4 hours away. So do you want to drive 4 hours northwest, or do you want to drive 4 hours where the fuck Indianapolis at? I think southeast.
Yeah.
Before we get into this, I do want to give a shout out to our Black Queens, Zendaya and Lupita
Nyong'o. You better not mess that woman's last name up now.
I gotta look at it too.
You should have led with Lupita. I ain't gonna lie. That's the real Black Queen shout out. Shout out Lupita Nyong'o.
Her fucking skin.
I
bro.
hope she is having a phenomenal day.
Fucking God.
I hope
her skin is amazing.
I hope she the way I don't know what her skincare routine is, but she's doing a great job. I hope Lupita Nyong'o's having a phenomenal day. Wherever she's doing. This
movie is insane. Like the cast in itself. So I know for a fact that I need the director's cut immediately, bro.
Yeah, this movie the movie's already 3 hours, mind you.
right. The movie's already 2:54, 2 minutes, 2 hours and 54 minutes. I know it's longer than that because they have too many big actors in here.
Yes,
for it not to be. Travis Scott's in here, and there's a scene where
shout out Travis Scott, by the way, and all these in this stacked ass cast. The movie opens with him. Shout out Travis Scott.
And one of the scenes, Telemachus tells his mentor, who's played by Ryan Hurst, who is Opie from Sons of Anarchy. He was supposed to be Kratos for the God of War TV show, which he's just been recast because he had an injury on set. But he tells him, he's like, or he tells Telemachus, he says, we need to be low key while we're in here. Mm-hmm. He go, well, we shouldn't have brought a bard with us. You do not see this nigga Travis Scott in there at all.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, there's definitely something that like that scene alone lets me know that it's a much larger movie than what we already got. I'm glad he didn't push it because that 2 hours and 54 minutes, that's a long ass time, bro. This should have been the Snyder cut part 1, part 2. Because
this was long, but it was worth it though. Like this was worth all 3 hours to me.
I was not mad. I will say I left out of here not upset, not mad at all. But like I said, the cast is stacked. You got Loki in here, or the actor that played Loki in here. Or I'm sorry, the actor that played the actor playing Loki, Matt Damon. You got Catwoman in here.
I was wondering. I was like Loki. I was like, oh wait, yeah, Matt Damon technically,
but
yes.
But also he played Loki first. He played him in Dogma. He played the angel Loki.
Okay, you did a deep pull on that one.
Mm-hmm. And they actually just did a re-release of that. Anyhow, you got Catwoman in here. You got Spider-Man. You have Mary Jane.
Everyone's getting addressed by their characters.
You also have fucking one person from Dune in here. And those are just the biggest names.
2 people from Dune in here, actually.
You got who's the second? Zendaya.
Well, Robert Pattinson's gonna be in the third one. So,
okay, yeah. Then fucking, you got the Punisher in here. Like
Yes.
that's just the biggest names, bro. Lupita really does. Lupita doesn't just do movies. Like she acts, nigga. So
Yeah.
she does films, bro. I'll say she does films. She does not shoot movie, then shoot another movie, then shoot another movie. She leaves some space between her shit, so she works.
Absolutely.
Right? And not to take anything away from those other actors that I've named before, but they have massive projects coming out in the last year. Fucking Spider-Man comes out in fucking 8 days.
Next week. Yeah, I was like, next week.
So you know, 3 of those actors are in that movie, bro.
Yeah. Shout out to Zendaya. She's having a hell of a year so far. Like, she's in everything.
Because Euphoria finished up this year, right? Too, right?
I'm about to expose myself, but I
didn't watch the last season.
Okay, I was about to say
I know you didn't watch it at all.
Yeah, I have not. I'm not a Euphoria. Let me not say I'm not a fan just because I haven't watched it. Like, I'm not a fan because I don't like it. I just haven't watched the show. So I'm sure it's amazing. I haven't watched it. I don't know.
It's all right.
But picking up on your listing the cast, the performances in this from everybody is incredible. But there are a few highlights, like a few people who I think like got in their bag in this movie.
That's what I want you to talk about.
Matt Damon.
That's what I was waiting to talk about.
Matt Damon as Odysseus was top notch. Granted, it's Matt Damon. Like, we don't really have to.
I was about to say Matt Damon.
It's Matt Damon, right? Like, it goes what I was saying. But he killed this, like, bar none, was incredible. One of my personal favorite performances, and I don't know if this is the one people are going to bring up the most, but Anne Hathaway is Penelope. Bro, there's a scene in here, and we're not going into spoilers or anything, but there's a scene in here where she's having a conversation with Telemachus. And if you've seen the movie, you probably know what scene I'm talking about.
Right,
it's a very emotional scene between the two of them where they're just talking about the circumstance they're in and what the actual solutions are and how they're going to get out of it.
Hold on, before you continue, I'm sorry.
Hold on one second. She says something that, like, the way she delivers her lines, the way she delivers like this particular line, like, bro, it is like the minute I saw it, I was like, when she gets nominated for an Oscar for this is going to be the scene they show in her preview shot. I saw it immediately. As soon as she delivered that line, I was like, this is going to be the one.
The scene right before the end, right?
Yes.
Okay, so yes. I was going to say, so for a movie like this, obviously we're not doing outright spoilers, but there are going to be some spoilers in it. I think it's hard, like even the line, the one you're talking about, and I'm not gonna say the whole thing, but she says, "I want Odysseus."
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. She flipped some shit over, bro.
Yeah, no, she meant that shit.
I'm like, all right, because in the scene, bro, Telemachus is like, he's kind of testing her in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, like, the emotion and anger that comes over her, I'm like, she about to beat your ass, nigga. she about to beat your ass, nigga. Yeah. Because earlier in that scene, it kind of does sound like she want to be big dog.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I was scared at first. I was nervous. So without going too into it, but that's all I was interrupting to say is, like, some of these things we might have to put a little more info behind without trying to give enough. But you said Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway. What else you got?
Matt, Anne Hathaway.
Don't say Tom Holland.
Tom Holland gave a great performance in here, but I don't think he was he wasn't like one of my personal favorite performances. Okay. Well, but like, I think he gave a great one.
Robert Pattinson for sure. Gave a bad performance.
Oh yeah, no, everyone's great. Everyone's great in here.
That's what I'm saying.
Everyone's great in here. But Robert Pattinson also had a great one. Yeah, no, he wasn't one of my favorites. He wasn't one of my favorites.
I do have one person that did a bad performance. And I'm not gonna say bad, but I just don't like his acting. Corey Hawkins, Dr. Dre.
His wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was just not as important. Like, his character was just kind of there, in my opinion. But he wasn't bad to me.
I don't like his acting. So maybe that's what it is. I don't like his acting, and his role was like, he's just another nigga.
Yeah. No, his role was okay to me. Robert Pattinson was incredible. He plays an asshole very, very, very well. And a very unexpected one. I wasn't expecting this person to be a standout performance just in a cast this stacked, but John Leguizamo, who plays the blind mentor for Odysseus, he was one of the very surprise standouts in this movie to me, and he actually had a pretty big role. His character is very important, and when I first saw his character, I was just like, of course he's in here because this cast is just that stacked. And by the middle of the movie, I was like, I'm not gonna lie, he might rank in my top 4 favorite performances in this by the time this movie's over, and he did. Those are like the major standouts to me. Like I said, Robert Pattinson, Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, John Leguizamo. I mean, Tom Holland was good, right, for the amount of screen time he had. When you rank him amongst those other performances, I just don't think he was that upper echelon for me in terms of like the people that I left going like they were in their bag in this one.
So I wouldn't take anybody off of that list except Tom Holland. Again, it wasn't a bad performance at all, but I just don't think his performance was as good. I'm still not seeing the need to make these British actors have an American accent for this movie. I mean, honestly, I say let everybody speak the way they speak naturally. And is like you said, not Tom Holland. Rob Pattinson had a great performance. His performance would have been so much fucking better if he spoke with whatever fucking English accent he has. Same thing with Tom Holland. But the person I wanted to add is, and he's a big part of this movie, but he's not. I don't want to say he's not a big actor, but I haven't seen him in a lot. Himish Patel, who plays
he was really good in this too. Yes,
I think so.
He was really good in this too.
If he doesn't get Best Supporting Actor, dog,
it's gonna be hard to when the cast is stacked. I'm not gonna lie. Someone's not getting nominated. Dog. Like you got to just pick the top tier people and roll with it because there's so much in here. Like, bro, we both mentioned Lupita Nyong'o. She has maybe 3 scenes in here. You know what I'm saying? Agamemnon, who's on the poster. The Agamemnon, if you look at the poster for this movie, or one of the posters for this movie, Agamemnon's on the poster. His character's in maybe 3 scenes. Fire ass armor. Don't get me wrong. Buddy was aura farming and dripped out.
Nigga, when they opened the gates to Troy,
and he walked in.
Dog, this nigga's a beat. But no, he didn't just walk in, bro. He stood there in the dark, and it just lit up behind him with niggas running in, bro. That shit was cold, bro.
This is I really, if y'all haven't seen this movie yet, this is a shot that y'all are gonna marvel at. Like when y'all see Agamemnon standing in Troy, y'all are gonna just understand what true aura farming is. Mind you, you don't really see his character do too much in any of the scenes in this movie.
You don't see him do shit.
You don't see his character. You barely hear him speak. You barely hear him do that.
He speaks a few times. Like,
yeah, like you barely hear him do that.
I mean, like, the nigga might have like 3 lines.
If that. Like, that's what I'm saying. If that. You know what? He's just there to look cool. He just dripped out. That was like one of the biggest standouts to me. Like when I saw Agamemnon, I'm thinking like, okay, his character is going to be a lot more involved than what he is, and then he wasn't, which was cool with me. But the limited screen time he does have, he uses effectively, very effectively.
And so when I say Christopher Nolan is storytelling, bro. When you watch we've all been told, Helen was the reason that the Trojan War happened, and they don't do any prequels in here, or they don't do a lot of pre-telling in this movie. So most of this movie happens in a year, I guess. And when I say pre-telling, I mean before the war. Because if you go back and you watch, it was Troy, right, with Brad Pitt?
You're talking about in 2004, yeah.
So Brad Pitt, in that movie, they show his brother, which I can't remember, Agamemnon's brother, getting married to Helen. They showed her leaving with not Hector, whatever the other brother is. I don't fucking remember their names because they're not even in here. And you show them going to Troy in the war is because, or the reasoning behind the war is to get Helen back. And in Troy, Agamemnon tells him, like, I didn't come here for love. I came here to take Troy. In this movie, they make it real clear that Agamemnon was going to go to Troy either way.
Yeah.
Because it's an important trade route for them. So he was going to go either way.
Yeah, I really do feel like there's so much in here to touch on. Like I said, the movie's 3 hours, so there's just so much to touch on. I will say, for me, some of the like biggest highlights. One, Christopher Nolan does a phenomenal job of utilizing practical effects For someone who's like very anti CGI, and I'm talking about Christopher Nolan, not
Did
myself.
you see all the shit that was
For
practical effects?
yeah, no, I've watched a lot of the
Dog.
the stories that have come out or articles that have come out after discussing a lot of the practical effects he used. For one, the scene with the Cyclops, and it was crazy. As soon as I saw the Cyclops, I knew. I was like, he really didn't use any CGI for this movie, because this was one of those films when I first saw that Christopher Nolan was doing the Odyssey. I was like, all right, Christopher, we've stuck with you
First
through
name basis.
we've stuck with you through so many films at this point. We've watched you go through, I mean, I can name his whole filmography at this point. We've gone through all these films watching you not use CGI. You doing the Odyssey, bro. You're going to have to use a little bit. And as soon as I saw the scene with the Cyclops, I went, this motherfucker right here. I'm willing to bet, and this is before I read anything about the making of or behind the scenes. I was like, I'm willing to bet this dude went to some artist somewhere or some puppet master and actually had an animatronic Cyclops built. And come to find out, that's actually what the fuck he did. And it actually looks better, arguably better than what CGI would have looked like. It actually looks scarier. It looks more intimidating. It feels more real the way it moves. And I like the fact that, Cyclopses, are typically portrayed as just being these dumb, mindless creatures. Like if you're having clubs, big fat bellies, like this one it felt more genuine to what just a random creature would behave, right? Like this creature felt, I'm almost to say the word grounded, which feels like the wrong word, but that's kind of how it felt. You know what I'm saying? Like it felt like Christopher Nolan tried to take this fantasy world and try to make it grounded. It really felt like that's what he was trying to accomplish throughout a lot of the moments in this film. And the Cyclops scene was just indicative of that. That entire sequence from start to finish, just the way it looked, the way Odysseus was just trying to command his men through that situation, everything about that entire scene from start to finish was flawless. I already mentioned the dialogue scene between Telemachus and Penelope. That was
before you go
tier.
Off that scene.
And then there's one more scene I want to bring up. And then there's another scene. It's towards the end of the film, and without giving away too much, there's a scene where Odysseus is having a conversation reflecting on the Battle of Troy. And he's just reflecting on what the Battle of Troy did, what his thought processes were while he was there, everything he was seeing, everything he was experiencing. And he uses that as like a launch point. Like he's saying like this battle and the things we did there were the launch point to why everything's gone to hell now and why all of our lives aren't going the way we expected to now post this battle. And the way they like mix flashbacks with his dialogue while he's having this conversation, and being able to just see in real time his reactions while he's describing it, and then to parallel that to the current situation Odysseus is in when he's having that conversation, and him describing how the actions and the things we did during this battle have led us here. If I could like throw up the absolute cinema meme right now.
I was about to say, you look just like the nigga. You was
like, bro, that shit was perfect. Like it was perfect. There were so many things in this film that are just flawless in terms of the way they were executed. I was in awe. I'm not gonna lie to you.
And that's why I say, like I said, the storytelling that he has, and not just this movie, but especially this fucking movie, man. Because again, there's a bunch of characters in this, and to be able to stay focused and to not lose the plot the entire time. You watch so many movies, and you're like, all right, it could be one story, and you're like, okay, when did we decide this was going to happen? Where did this come from? You never see that in this movie. The thing about the Cyclops I want to say is, like you said, visually, a Cyclops usually just looks like a person with one eye. And he legitimately looks like a monster. He looks like something that should not be here.
Bro, he looks like the shit that was under your bed that you were scared to look at. That's what he looks like as a kid. Like the shit that you was like, it's something under my bed as a kid and I'm scared to look at it. This is the fuck this Cyclops looks like. That shit was terrifying.
When I seen people talking about like, oh, this Cyclops was better, I'm like, no, nigga, that looks like a person with a giant eye. This nigga looks like a monster. He looks like something that was bred from a god and a monster. I forgot what the Cyclops parent is. I don't remember.
It's supposed to be Poseidon.
Well, the mom.
Oh, okay, got you.
So one of the things, I forgot about Calypso. Shirley's Theron as Calypso.
That's how stacked
Dude,
this cast is. We
nigga.
forgot to bring up Charlize Theron.
So that almost made me forget what the fuck I wanted to even talk about.
Just Charlize Theron? Hey, man.
Dude. Charlize Theron.
I'm not about to play with you, bro. She
No,
was great in this, though.
No, she was amazing.
I will say this. I think one of the things I walked out of this film thinking is, and I've seen this like kind of get brought up in a lot of articles since then, so it's good to know my mind's on the right track. But Christopher Nolan this isn't a horror movie and this is not an action movie. I would say this is a drama movie with horror and action elements, but there are some scenes in this where I looked and I was like, Christopher Nolan could do a hell of a horror movie, I'm not gonna lie. The Cyclops scene for one, but the scene with, I believe it's Cersei, that, bro, I was
uncomfortable. I was very uncomfortable.
I felt so uncomfortable is definitely the word. Like, I felt unsettled watching that scene, just knowing. And to be honest, like I said, I haven't read the Odyssey book since high school. So there's some general details I remember, like the major details I remember, but there's like some other details and smaller things that happened that this film reminded me. I was like, oh shit, I forgot about that. That was one of those scenes. And like, as we get to Cersei and the scene's playing out, I'm midway through, I'm like, oh shit, I remember how the scene plays out now. And that's kind of where I got uncomfortable once I realized what was about to happen. That to me was that to me showed just how versatile of a filmmaker Christopher Nolan is. He blended so many different effective elements from different genres into this movie and did them all flawlessly, to the point where I'm walking out wanting a Christopher Nolan horror movie now. I feel like we are owed that at this point.
Okay,
now, he only drops every 3 years. So in 2029, I better be seeing a Christopher Nolan horror collaboration. I need that now. And I didn't realize I needed it before this, but I know I needed it.
So as you were saying that, I remember what I want to talk about. And I guess this would be my one downside to this movie. In the movie, while he's telling this story, and I mean the director, not Odysseus, you see him go from I don't give a shit about these gods. They're not nothing to me. And then you see what the gods do. You see this journey that it takes him on. And you see, because up until the point of the Trojan War, Odysseus hasn't seen anything that would, I guess, give him reason to believe these gods are real. Or did they care about you, or did they helping you, or did they're even present? They see that fucking Cyclops, and the nigga's like, all right, some name.
Yeah.
They had a thing with Cersei. They go to the underworld. The sirens. So like whirlpools, the fucking, I don't know what that monster was. Was it the Kraken?
It's the monster has a name. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yes.
But there are things that he's exposed to. So and that's why I say the one thing that I'll say, at a certain point, he trusts the gods, and that's what helps him get back home. And as soon as he gets home, he told that nigga Telemachus, he said, man, don't be looking for the gods and people. They ain't gonna help you. I'm like, yo, nigga.
Yeah, that's real though.
He said, I just need to get home, nigga. I'm not fucking with y'all.
Yeah.
Who else had I'm trying to think of people that had, the only way to say it is a smaller role. But
John Bernthal did for sure.
John Bernthal is John Bernthal.
Well, like, his role wasn't that small, actually, now that I'm really thinking.
It wasn't small, but like his character, the way that they cast him to be who he is. I'll say that. I definitely would like to see John Bernthal play more than an angry nigga.
I'm pretty sure he even said, let me tell you something in this too. Like, they kept all his stereotypes in here.
He did. So and maybe that's why I liked him in An Accountant too, because like he's
change of pace.
He's disturbed in An Accountant too for sure.
Yeah.
But he's not angry about this shit. He's just violent.
Yeah.
I think Elliot Page had I already said that about because of Agamemnon. So that scene, but again, the fucking storytelling, dude. The way everything is put together, the way what's Robert Pattinson's name?
Antinous? Something like that.
Antinous is he tells a story, bro. At one part in one part of the movie, he tells a story, and it plays out how he's telling it. And And then somebody else tells this same story with how it actually happened. And you see how, okay, well, this nigga's a bitch.
Yeah. There's a scene. I ain't gonna lie, without saying too much, there's a scene at the very end as the ending sequence is going on with him that is pure comedy. I'm like, that shit had me so weak, bro.
This nigga's soft as
soft as hell, bro. Soft as cottonelle. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm trying to think of like what it, because I've seen a movie before and they're like, yeah, go do this. Yeah. Like, and it mirrors that. I just can't think of it. But it's funny because he comes off as this, and he's a rich boy. That's what it is. I want you to add this tweet. All right. I thought this shit was funny as hell. And somebody said on Twitter, they said, Odysseus' wife waited 20 years while 108 rich men tried to marry her every day. And the nigga responded, they don't make him like that anymore. And it's Vegeta looking up in the rain.
No, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'll tell you this right now.
Nigga,
get you a Penelope. Get you a Penelope. Get you a Penelope. Get you somebody who loves you that much.
Nigga, I got locked up for 20 days and my girl left me. So
hey, they don't make them like that no more. They don't make them like that. They don't make them like that no more. Gang.
They don't make them like that at all.
That is a lost art.
But no, dude, I really can't stress enough how good the storytelling is on this. Like, even though I think the acting was good, and we're talking about dialogue acting. We're not even talking about the physical acting that they did.
I'm talking about everything. When I say performances, I'm talking about everything.
Agamemnon, he doesn't say a lot, but you feel his presence, bro.
Yes.
And this nigga is a giant. I don't think the nigga that plays him is that tall, which made it funnier.
Yeah, I was like, when he was hovering over like Matt Damon, I was like, damn, so like this dude funny, is huge.
Bro. But he's this larger because he's supposed to be a king. Again, as soon as I say he's supposed to be a king, that shit lost. Oh, practical effects. The scene with the giants.
That scene, I ain't gonna lie, every scene where they stopped on an island was fire. Every scene where they stopped on an island is fire. Like, there's just so much in this film. It's too much to cover just because it's a 3-hour epic, right? But there's so much in this film that works. And to me, for a 3-hour movie to not really feel like 3 hours, or even when it started to feel like 3 hours, me not caring, like I wanted it to keep going, that is indicative of what Christopher Nolan pulled off with this. Name a section, like name all the things you need to make a good movie. This shit knocked it out the park. Performances, check. Effects, check. Storytelling, check. Dialogue, check. Action, excitement, check. Like everything that you need in here. Drama, check. Everything in this movie hits. If there was one critique, just because I feel like I've been glazing this movie for about the entire time we've been talking about it, which I have unapologetically. The only thing, and this isn't really a critique for me because I was expecting this going into the movie because I've just watched enough Christopher Nolan at this point, is Christopher Nolan loves using very dark scenes. And by dark, I don't mean tone.
No. Yeah.
I mean like the way they're shot. It's just very dark and it can be hard to see and follow. That's one, but there's multiple of those in here.
The horse scene.
Yeah, like there's multiple of those. It's a few of those. But at this point, Christopher Nolan's done that in all of his movies. So it's like, is it something I enjoy or something I like for him to do? Not necessarily, but it makes sense for the scenes where he's used it in this. It made sense, A. And B, that's such a Christopher Nolan trope at this point that even if it's something that I personally don't prefer, I would have been kind of crazy to walk in this film and not expect for that to take place at some point. But that's really like the only bad thing. And I wouldn't even really call it a critique. That's just like the only, I will say, drawback to this. Everything else in this movie.
He won't.
Yeah, well, I won't. But like I said, I'm glazing.
I got y'all.
He can critique this shit all he wants. I'm glazing. So
y'all already know what his rating about to be.
Oh, well, we don't even gotta, let's just rip the fucking Band-Aid off. Like, why are we building suspense? This is an encore. I literally just told y'all at the beginning of the review I'm going to see this again. So this is an encore for me. This film is as close to perfect as you can get. I told you, this has been my take that Dune 2 was the best movie of the 2020s by far. I can no longer say that. this film has taken, I ain't gonna say it's taken the crown, but it's right there. And it's a very, very close tie for me right now. I need to go see this movie again before I definitively rank it ahead of Dune 2, because I just love Dune 2 that much. But this is competing very strongly for that title for me right now. And this is by far the best film I've seen all year. And until Dune 3 comes out in December, I think we can shut the best movie of 2026 conversation down for now. We'll revisit it when Dune 3 comes out. But until then, I think we can shut this conversation down. The Odyssey holds the crown in 2026 right now.
I'm gonna give it an encore, but I'm giving it a low encore.
Hater. Fucking hater.
You sound like the fucking you sound like the Snyder fanboy.
I told you I'm glazing, bro. I'm a sweaty keyboard nerd right now behind my keyboard, criticizing anybody who disagrees with me about this. That's where I'm at with it.
So it's the low encore because I do want to go see this shit again in 70 millimeter.
Yes.
And if AMC that's closer to us is doing it, I'm doing it. We already talked about the things I felt were good about this movie, so I'll say the things I felt was bad about this movie. And
hater.
It's
disappointed in this man.
The lack of color. Again, I know what he's going for here, but my nigga, some color somewhere, sometime, please. Yeah, that's the only downsides to it. And like I said, it's a fucking great movie, dude. Nope, phenomenal. I got one more. It should have been two hating? It should have been 2 movies, dog. 3 hours, bro. Because like I said, watching this movie, you know that there's more. You just do. Like, things are happening, you're like, okay, that was cool. And then this thing happens, and you're like, okay, that was cool, but what else happened? And like I said, just the fact that they left in a part about the bar, you only see Travis Scott twice in this movie. You see him at the beginning of the movie, and you see him towards the end of the movie. He's the bar. They talk about this nigga in another scene
that he's not in.
Do not see this nigga. So he has to be there somewhere. So that's my only thing. Like, yes, it's long. I hate long movies, period. But it doesn't feel like a long ass movie when you're watching it.
You do not feel them 3 hours for real.
But if they add everything else in this movie, don't heck, it was 2 movies, dog. Hey, this movie is insane, bro. I'm not about to glaze it like this nigga. So I'm gonna give it a 9.
You're a hater. That's why.
a low encore is like a 9.
You're a hater. It's cool.
Hey,
it's cool.
I just seen somebody say, why as soon as a nigga say they don't like some shit, niggas gotta be a hater.
Because you are, bro. You hating. Why don't you enjoy this shit as much as I do? Why don't you have the same opinion as me? God damn it. What's wrong with you?
So we both gonna go see this in 70 millimeter. And
yes, we are.
Absolutely. We might have to do a drop in, bro. Give them a little 10 minutes, something after watching it in 70 millimeter. Because the way niggas is talking about that.
Yes, it's a different experience. Like, and I need to go see that. Just being where I'm at, it's not like I see movies in 70 millimeter. You know what I'm saying, like that.
That's what.
So this is an experience. I need to see this.
Did these niggas get new cameras in and they like, fuck it, turn this bitch to 70 millimeter?
I am not an AMC employee and or manager, so I cannot answer that question for you, sir. All I know is it's available. My black ass is about to be there. That's all I know. Let us know if y'all have seen the Odyssey. 264 million opening weekend, so I'm sure a lot of y'all got around to it by now. If y'all haven't seen it, strongly encourage that y'all do. This is one of the best pieces of cinema I've seen in a long time.
And in theaters, bro. Don't wait.
Yes, see it in theaters and see it in. If you ain't able to see it in 70 millimeter, at least see it in IMAX. Don't wait for this to come out on streaming. Don't watch this in a standard format. Please watch this in IMAX. You're doing yourself a disservice if you don't. Always continue to like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate all the support. And until next time, this is The Real Junkies. Peace.